What if we could bring the minds of the past into the present, not just through their ideas, but their faces? In this journey through time, we're reviving 10 legendary thinkers and artists with the help of AI. From forgotten philosophers to Renaissance masters, we'll explore the old portraits, uncover their stories, and reimagine how they might look today. These aren't just names in history books, they're visionaries who shaped how we see the world. Let's meet them then and now. William Blake. William Blake was a pioneering English poet, painter, and printmaker who defied conventional artistic and literary norms. Known for his mystical visions, Blake combined poetry and visual art, creating works that often explored religious and philosophical themes. His famous works, such as Songs of Innocence and Experience, challenged society's views and emphasized the importance of personal imagination. Though largely unrecognized during his lifetime, Blake's contributions to both art and literature have since made him a central figure in the Romantic movement. An AI-generated image could show Blake surrounded by his visionary works, reflecting his unique spiritual insight. Edgar Allan Poe. Edgar Allan Poe is a master of the macabre and Gothic fiction. His works, such as The Raven and The Telltale Heart, delve into themes of death, madness, and the supernatural. Poe's troubled life, marked by personal loss and financial struggles, greatly influenced his dark and atmospheric writing. Despite limited recognition during his lifetime, Poe's works later revolutionized American literature, particularly in the horror and detective genres. An AI-generated image of Poe might capture him in a dark, introspective mood, with shadows reflecting the chilling tone of his stories. Mary Shelley. Mary Shelley, born in 1797, is best known for writing Frankenstein, a groundbreaking work that explores themes of creation, ambition, and human responsibility. The daughter of feminist thinker Mary Wollstonecraft and philosopher William Godwin, Shelley's life was filled with tragedy, including the death of her children and husband. At just 18, she conceived the idea for Frankenstein during a summer spent with Lord Byron. Her novel is considered one of the earliest science fiction works, questioning humanity's moral boundaries. An AI-generated image of Shelley might depict her in a reflective Gothic setting surrounded by her writing. Gustave Courbet. Gustave Courbet, born in 1819, is a central figure in the realist movement. Courbet's paintings, such as The Stonebreakers and A Burial at Ornans, rejected idealized representations, focusing instead on the raw realities of everyday life. His works often depicted working-class people in rural landscapes with unflinching realism, challenging the romanticized art traditions of the time. Although controversial, Courbet's bold approach paved the way for future avant-garde movements like Impressionism. An AI-generated image of Courbet might show him working outdoors, capturing the rugged beauty of rural France with his intense gaze and striking realism. Claude Monet. Claude Monet, born in 1840, is the father of the French Impressionist movement. Monet's revolutionary approach to painting emphasized light, color, and atmosphere, often focusing on fleeting moments in nature. Works like Impression, Sunrise, and Water Lilies exemplify his ability to capture the changing qualities of light and the passage of time. Despite early criticism, Monet's influence on modern art is profound. His en plein air technique, where he painted outdoors, allowed him to depict natural scenes with unparalleled freshness. An AI-generated image of Monet might show him in a vibrant garden, immersed in the soft hues of his natural world. Eugene Delacroix. Eugene Delacroix was one of the leading figures of the Romantic movement. Known for his vivid use of color and dynamic compositions, Delacroix's work was deeply emotional, often reflecting dramatic, historical, and literary subjects. His masterpiece, Liberty Leading the People, became an enduring symbol of freedom and revolution. Delacroix's ability to capture intense movement and emotion set him apart from other artists of his time. An AI-generated image of Delacroix might show him passionately at work in his studio, surrounded by swirling colors and the revolutionary themes of his most famous paintings. Edvard Munch. Edvard Munch, born in 1863, is best known for his iconic painting The Scream, which has become synonymous with existential angst. His works often explored themes of anxiety, isolation, and the human condition, reflecting his own personal struggles, including the death of his mother and his battles with mental health. Munch's style, characterized by bold color choices and distorted forms, was ahead of its time, influencing the Expressionist movement. An AI-generated image of Munch might depict him contemplating the dark, stormy landscape, echoing the inner turmoil and emotional intensity of his most famous works. Fyodor Dostoevsky. Fyodor Dostoevsky, born in 1821, is renowned for his deep exploration of the human psyche. His novels, including Crime and Punishment and The Brothers Karamazov, examine the complexities of morality, free will, and the search for meaning. Drawing from his own personal experiences, including years of imprisonment in Siberia, Dostoevsky's works focus on characters confronting inner turmoil, guilt, and redemption. His philosophical and psychological depth has made him one of the most influential writers in history. An AI-generated image of Dostoevsky might show him in deep thought, contemplating the moral dilemmas that permeate his works. Leo Tolstoy. Leo Tolstoy is one of the most celebrated novelists in history, known for War and Peace and Anna Karenina. His epic works explore Russian society, morality, and the complexities of human relationships. Tolstoy's later life was marked by spiritual awakening and a quest for simplicity, as seen in his writings on pacifism and religious philosophy. His ability to create deeply human characters and depict the trials of life has made him an enduring figure in world literature. An AI-generated image of Tolstoy might show him in a rural setting, reflecting his shift towards simplicity and spiritual clarity. Henrik Ibsen. Henrik Ibsen is considered the father of modern drama. His plays, such as A Doll's House and Hedda Gabler, challenged traditional social structures and highlighted the struggles of individuals seeking freedom in oppressive environments. Ibsen's works often explored gender roles, morality, and the tension between personal desires and societal expectations. His bold, realistic portrayal of contemporary issues made him a revolutionary figure in theater. An AI-generated image of Ibsen might show him in a contemplative mood, surrounded by manuscripts of his groundbreaking plays, reflecting his profound influence on modern drama. Boethius. A medieval manuscript illustration shows Boethius writing in a dark prison cell, scrolls and chains nearby. Boethius, a Roman philosopher born in the 6th century, wrote The Consolation of Philosophy while awaiting execution. His work blends Christian theology with classical philosophy, especially Plato and Aristotle. He examined fate, justice, and inner peace in a chaotic world. Boethius became a key influence on medieval thought, bridging ancient and Christian ideas. Boethius is seen in a candlelit stone cell deep in thought, with Lady Philosophy appearing beside him in soft glowing light, symbolizing his final dialogue with reason and hope. John Stuart Mill. A formal Victorian portrait captures Mill with intense eyes and disheveled curls, seated beside heavy books. John Stuart Mill, a 19th century philosopher and economist, championed liberty, individuality, and gender equality. His work on liberty argued for freedom of speech and thought, and the subjection of women became a foundational feminist text. Mill believed in utilitarianism, the greatest good for the greatest number, but balanced it with strong individual rights. Mill is shown delivering a passionate speech in a crowded lecture hall, holding papers mid-air, as rays of light emphasize his role as a bold voice for progress and reform. Thomas Hobbes. A dark, moody painting of Hobbes shows him in scholar's robes with penetrating eyes and a quill in hand. Thomas Hobbes, born in the 17th century, was a political philosopher best known for Leviathan. In it, he argued that without a strong central authority, human life would be solitary, poor, nasty, brutish, and short. Hobbes supported absolute monarchy as a way to maintain order and prevent civil war. His ideas laid the groundwork for modern political science. Hobbes stands beneath stormy skies, writing as a colossal sea monster-shaped Leviathan rises in the mist, symbolizing state power formed through fear and social contract. George Berkeley. A faint etching shows Berkeley in clerical robes, standing with a book and a calm expression. George Berkeley, an Irish bishop and philosopher, proposed that material objects only exist through being perceived. To be is to be perceived. His immaterialism countered prevailing scientific materialism, arguing that all reality is held together by God's perception. Though controversial in his time, his ideas influenced later idealist thinkers and challenged assumptions about physical reality. Berkeley is seated in a sunlit study surrounded by floating, semi-transparent objects that vanish without attention, illustrating his belief that reality depends entirely on the perceiving mind. Gottfried Wilhelm Leibniz. A formal oil portrait shows Leibniz in aristocratic dress surrounded by books, instruments, and scrolls. Gottfried Wilhelm Leibniz was a 17th century polymath who made major contributions to philosophy, mathematics, and logic. He co-invented calculus and developed the concept of monads, indivisible spiritual substances. Leibniz believed we live in the best of all possible worlds, reflecting divine harmony. His optimism, metaphysics, and logical innovations influenced Enlightenment and modern thinkers. Leibniz appears in a cosmic study holding a glowing orb-like monad with equations and galaxies suspended mid-air, visually merging rational science with metaphysical wonder. Donatello. A Renaissance sketch shows Donatello with a chisel in hand sculpting a youthful figure from marble. Donatello, a master sculptor of the early Renaissance, pioneered realistic human forms and expressive emotion in sculpture. His bronze David was the first freestanding nude statue since antiquity, signaling a return to classical ideals with modern sensitivity. Donatello revolutionized art by bringing movement and humanity to his figures, influencing generations. Donatello stands in a sunlit Florentine workshop surrounded by lifelike statues and marble dust, his eyes fixed on a nearly complete sculpture that seems ready to breathe. Sandro Botticelli. A soft-toned painting depicts Botticelli with flowing hair, gently holding a brush near a delicate canvas. Sandro Botticelli, a leading painter of the Italian Renaissance, is best known for The Birth of Venus and Primavera. His work fused classical mythology with Christian symbolism, emphasizing beauty, grace, and spiritual allegory. Botticelli worked under Medici patronage and was deeply inspired by Neoplatonic philosophy. His style remains iconic for its poetic elegance. Botticelli is shown painting in a golden-lit studio with Venus rising on a canvas behind him and rose petals floating through the air embodying divine beauty. Caravaggio. A brooding oil painting shows Caravaggio with tousled hair, paint-stained clothes, and sharp, watchful eyes. Caravaggio, a Baroque master of the late 16th century, redefined painting with intense realism and dramatic lighting known as chiaroscuro. His works, like The Calling of St. Matthew and Judith beheading Holofernes, portrayed biblical scenes with gritty human emotion. Known for his turbulent life, Caravaggio's revolutionary style influenced countless artists. Caravaggio paints by flickering candlelight, his models posed in lifelike agony, with shadows slicing across the canvas, capturing his signature intensity and raw emotional depth. El Greco. A stylized painting shows El Greco with elongated features and vivid contrasts standing before a large canvas. El Greco, born in Crete and active in Spain, developed a unique style combining Byzantine and Western techniques. His figures, often elongated and spiritual, convey mystical emotion and drama. Works like The Burial of the Count of Orgaz reveal a deeply expressive vision that prefigured modern expressionism. He was misunderstood in his time but later celebrated. El Greco paints in a swirling cathedral space, ghost-like figures ascending behind him, illuminated in otherworldly light, reflecting his transcendental visionary style. Artemisia Gentileschi. A bold self-portrait shows Artemisia painting herself into history, brush raised mid-stroke. Artemisia Gentileschi, a 17th century Baroque artist, broke through gender barriers with emotionally powerful works. Her painting Judith slaying Holofernes is known for its brutal honesty and strength. A survivor of assault and legal injustice, Artemisia channeled her experiences into depictions of resilient, heroic women. She became one of the first recognized female artists in Europe. Artemisia stands tall at her easel, painting a fierce Judith under a golden light, the shadows behind her fading an image of defiance, creativity, and unshakable dignity. Old portraits capture their presence, but their legacies go far beyond paint and parchment. These thinkers and artists challenged the norms of their time, reshaped reality, and left behind bold, beautiful questions. With AI, we breathe new life into their images, bridging centuries and igniting fresh curiosity. Which historical figure should we reimagine next? Drop a comment, and follow for more journeys where art and history meet the future. Let's keep these legends alive, one face at a time.